Hey folks, Larry Winget here, back with another episode of Ask Larry Anything, the YouTube series where you can ask Larry anything about life, business, success, money, parenting, anything about me you'd like to know. Just send your question in to info@larrywinget.com. I'll get to it just as quickly as I possibly can. I've got a big stack of questions that I'm going through right now, but I promise I will get to yours. Let's get right to the questions this week. The first one is very long. I mean, it's way too much, but let's get right to the heart of it. How do you decide to become rich? How do you think about money beyond mere survival? I don't need to be a millionaire. I've left jobs for better jobs, and I always hit a ceiling. And since I'm the only constant in this equation, it must be me. I am the problem. Confidence, competition, and self-worth are the words that keep coming back to me. The day you sat in that classroom in your one pair of blue jeans and decided to get rich, to see a different kind of life for yourself, I think you found what I'm missing. Please help. All right, the story she's referring to is that when I was 13 years old, somebody made fun of me for having only one pair of blue jeans, and they had a rip in the pocket, and I was embarrassed, and I was humiliated. I made a decision to get rich at that point. Now, you need to go into any of my books. It's covered in the Shut Up, Stop Whining, and Get a Life book. It's also covered in You're Broke Because You Want to Be. I decided to get rich, and getting rich or becoming more successful or becoming healthier or having better relationships, it always starts with a decision. You have to make the decision. I made the decision, and here's why I made it. I refused to ever be humiliated again because I didn't have enough, because I was poor. It was humiliating to me, embarrassing to me, and I hated that enough that I was willing to do whatever it took to get to a better place. That's kind of my whole approach to things. I don't think you can entice somebody to a better place by saying it's beautiful and it's wonderful and motivate them to get there. That's why my approach is to make you understand that where you are isn't good enough for you, because you can do better, and we can all do better. All of us can. And so the answer for you is that you need to become dissatisfied more. You're too comfortable. If it's really important for you to have more and achieve more and to have more money, then make it important to you. Learn to be dissatisfied with where you are, not because you need to be dissatisfied or you don't have enough, but because you know you could do more if you applied yourself. I'm not saying $50,000 a year or $25,000 a year is not enough money. It is if that's your level of your best, where you've given it your best and that's all you can achieve. But if you have the ability to earn $1 million a year and you're earning $25,000 a year, well, then that's not you working at your best, and you're not going to be happy, and you're not going to be a person who works toward the $1 million a year because you've found yourself just too comfortable. We need to get more uncomfortable more often. You are too comfortable with where you are, and so you're not willing to do what it takes to get to a better place. With me, it's never been about how much can I achieve, and there are people who just measure themselves by how much they can achieve. With me, it's always been about, is this me giving my best? And by giving my best, earning the best I possibly can. And when I've done my best, and that's how much I make, then I learn to be satisfied with that. I have a feeling you're not giving your best, and you're blaming it on self-confidence and the competition, and it really does come down to what you've just said here. It is your self-worth. Think more of yourself. You can do better. Next question. Larry, what do you read on a daily or frequent basis to stay current with the news, the business, the economy, and your industry? You know, I read everything that I possibly can. First thing I do in this morning is go through Google News. That's the first thing that comes up on my home screen on my computer. I look through all of the headlines. You can customize that. They do the same thing on Yahoo News, or any of the carriers will have a news site that you can load as your home screen. I always go through that. I surf around and find a couple of the top newspapers and see what the stories are and follow that. I also do watch a lot of television news because I appear on television news a lot, and I've got to be current on what's going on that day. And I will flip through the channels. I'll go to Fox, to CNN, to CNBC, to MSNBC, just to see what the stories are and how the stories are related. I'll also try to get a couple of different takes, and you can get some different takes by looking at an MSNBC and then jumping over to Fox. And so I'll get a couple of different takes on similar stories. I also read all the time. I want to know what the best people in my industry and in the self-help and personal development and business industry are saying. So I constantly look at the bestsellers. I do also have a very much respected network, a very small network of people that I trust. And so we share book recommendations with each other. And I always read their books. So find a group of people that you can ask, what are you reading right now? And take their suggestions. I have a handful of people that we do this with, and it saves me a lot of time because we're all reading different stuff, and I'll say, you can miss these, but you got to read this one. They'll do the same with me. Just a handful of ideas that you can do on a daily basis, on a frequent basis, to keep up, stay current, and stay ahead of the game. If you're not currently reading at least 5 books, and they don't all have to be business or technical books or whatever. They can be some fiction in there, but if you're not reading 5 books, you are falling behind. Things are moving too fast for you, and you cannot be behind if you want to be successful in this world. Things are changing too rapidly. So get current, stay current, and try to stay ahead by reading as much as you possibly can. And always listen to people who are smarter than you. That's a great question, one of the few I've gotten just for me about what I do, and I appreciate it. Talk to you all next time.